Welcome to the new Senju Clan Part 3. I am Dark Shadows. Let's get to it. Uh, the children had just lost their first people that they were close to, inherited some stuff. Now, let's get into more information. Now that we got that little time skip, or that time path, that little flashback. Now we're going to a time skip. 7 years later. All three are about 13 years old. They are getting ready to travel outside of the capital city of Fire Nation. I don't know what we're gonna call it. We're gonna have to come up with something cool. We're gonna call it Phoenix. Just for the fact that flames. Well, capital city of Fire Nation, Phoenix, with the Phoenix Palace. It's basically all the children's ever known. They rarely went anywhere outside. They always outside the palace. Anyway, so they were pretty much on the excited side to go on their first journey. Anywhere. So, Naruto comes out. He's decked out in something very similar to what he was wearing into Road to Being a Ninja or something in that movie. The black jacket with the dark. Instead of bright orange, it's gonna be like a dark orange, like almost a reddish orange type deal. With the Senju clan etched to the collar and stuff, and has little clouds going across the bottom that has that reddish orange tone with little leaves flying around. Yeah. His hair's about the length of Minato. He looks exactly like Minato by this point. He has black pants, but instead of tight-fitting ninja pants, are kind of loose-fitting. Almost you want to look at Bruce Lee's outfit, that's how it looks like. He has this similar type shoes. He has his weapon pouch basically in the back. And considering that he has the Finjutsu specialist, I can't pronounce it, so I'm just going to call it seal specialist. You can come at me in the comments. I look forward to the argument. I mean, you're probably going to be right, so it'll be a really bad one-sided argument. Well, back on topic. So it really hides the fact of what he has. Underneath, he has like underneath his sleeves, he has black wrappings that go up to his quarter up to the way his wrists on both sides, and they're kind of wrapped a little bit in his hands, like you do. Not the full hand, but just like a glove type deal, so his fingers are exposed. But he has ceiling tattoos on both sides, so he has like storage deals. So he's basically that, and he kind of has like a headband type deal on his forehead, just to keep the hair out of the way. It's like almost a bandage, so that's where his Hittite is gonna go. He has his bag. He's looking around the living room, or their apartment living room, where they spent the last 13 years of where they're at in the palace. He hears somebody walking beside him. He looks over. He sees his twin brother, whose hair is a lighter shade, almost like a Not quite as light as Tsunade's or almost not as light as Ino's, but it is lighter, considerably lighter than Naruto's, with more like a he has almost like the strawberry blonde look, like the mixture of stuff, which works well. He has his hair down, has it a little bit up in a ponytail and down. His hair is like more wavy or anything. It's not spiky like Naruto's. And it's really funny because you can almost see between the twins, because Naruto by this point had some shades of red. You can tell at the roots. You can't really tell anywhere else throughout because the blonde just takes over. So it almost looks like the toner in the blonde went out. That's how funny he is. So Naruto looks at his brother Damian. His brother prefers to have like, okay, you know what Kurama wears in Yu Yu Hakusho? And basically the last in the Black Charmer, what he wears, that yellow type Chinese fighting outfit, but his is blue. It has like a kimono top, layer top, and then it splits down that way. Yeah, that's how it is for him. And instead of the white pants, loose pants, he has like a dark navy blue pants with similar shoes of what Naruto wears. They don't wear the typical ninja sandals. Why? Because they never really been around ninja stuff besides the Guardian 12. Now probably the Guardian 5 or 6. Because they got split down and give or take a few died because of the little Civil War type deal. But so they were the only shinobi they ever been around with. They always been around samurai or those shinobi and political figures. So and there's just very few political figures. So they had no contact with anyone outside their like small group. Tsunade and Jiraiya basically kept their group on lockdown. Regulated who was in contact with the children, who knew about them, and everything. So it was like Fort Knox security in that little part of the palace. So now we're looking at, now that we know that, they hear lightly steps coming down the hall. They see their sister. Her hair is up in a ponytail. Uh, she has a little bit bangs that come across the forehead, kind of fluffy like, and then she has two long bangs that come in frame her face that kind of curl up on the ends. Her hair is in like a nice high ponytail. She has her feathers that she inherited, and her fan and stuff. She has a very similar outfit to her brother Damian. Besides, hers has like a deeper blue layer underneath, and then a lighter blue, and then you have almost like this transparency white that has lining of looks like clouds around it. That's actually on top. It's not really another layers on top of the light blue and stuff. And the slit, basically, you're looking at a Chinese female dress. Prisma or Chesma, wherever you If somebody can correct me in the comments, please, or knows what I'm talking about, please put it in the comments. Well, she has a very special armor that they found works down her legs, that almost what the Ambu wear, that really skin tight. They all have the exact same thing, so it doesn't really look like they're wearing mesh armor. The boys wear the mesh armor over it to add some protection. The girl Serenity does do too. It only comes down and looks like it's part of the decorative of the outfit. But yeah, that particular armor looks like almost like stockings. She purposely made it look like almost knee-high stockings, which she has dark blue Mary Jane kitten heels shoes on with a ribbon that wrapped around her ankle and with tied in a bow. So she has basically she has like a small type kimono type belt type deal that has the wings, almost similar to what the Tamari had, but hers is a dark blue with shades of white, lighter blues and whites mixed into it to match the rest of the outfit. And one of the reasons why she had it designed that way, well, the belt is also her her weapons pouch in the back. And considering she has ceiling storage tags all over the weapons things, she has it everywhere, even on the inside of her little on her leggings and stuff, so she can store extra stuff without actually looking like there's extra stuff being stored. So the only thing she has visible is a fan. Really pretty decorative fan that's tucked in the belt, like how many of the ladies and lords carry it. It's a very delicate decorative battle fan, so you would not know. So, to the passing glance to the group, they wouldn't look like they're armed. She has dark blue wrappings that go up to her 3/4 up to the elbow, like her brothers. They're dark blue or black. And she has the sword skills tattooed to her skin too. So again, all to give the impression that they are not armed. All she has is a small blue bag that goes over the shoulder. And Tsunade comes out from around the corner. Oh, good, brats, you're ready. Here you guys go. Here's your map. I found the direct route to Konoha. You just follow that. I also put down the notes of what pace you should take to get there comfortably. And you should at least no later arrive within 3 days. It's about a 2 to 3 day journey depending on your pace. Considering leaving pretty much at the crack of dawn, you can pretty much keep a decent pace and still arrive there in a good amount of time. Nodding, her head, the Serenity takes the map. Now, before you go, we're gonna have to discuss things because I gotta write a quick note to Sensei. Hello. Considering you know Suzune and I are gonna be touring the rest of Final Nation until the Chunin exams, which, depending how long we take, we could be there just as the start of your first exam, or a couple days before the first exam, or the week before the finals. But I want us to act as take over the seat. Somebody to have say start taking over the seat of the Senju, Namikaze, and Uzumaki clans. Since I'm currently the head of all of them, it's gonna come down to who are we going to have take over the clans, or act as head in my place until you guys are at the appropriate age to start taking over some of the burden. The boys looked at each other, did not hesitate, as Celine's looking over, not Celine, but Serenity's looking over the map, so she can memorize the route. And they're doing their silent, almost identical twin weird talking they do. Telepath. Tsunade thinks it's creepy as hell. And they both turn Serenity. What? She's half paying attention to what her grandmother just said. She goes, oh. Serenity, you just are acting as head of the clan now. Until I get there. What? No, I don't want to deal with that. Do you know the mess I have to clean up? I don't want to clean up a mess. Ugh. If half the information that Jiraiya gave is accurate, that's such a huge mess to clean up. That's a headache. I don't want it. Ugh. This is a pain. Leave it to these boys. They can't screw it up any more than it already is. No. Both said at the exact same time. I agree with them. You're outmatched. You're the better politician out of the four of us right now. You know how to tear people down. I don't want to. Please don't make me do this. Enough. Serenity. You're acting head of all three clans. Oh, God damn it. You fucking assholes. Why do I have to be the politician in the family? And she's crying. The boys are snickering. And you two, if you do anything to bring shame or dishonor or anything bad to either one of these clans, your ass is grass. It's actually worse than grass because at least you're suffering in. No, your suffering is just beginning if you have to make me do more work than I already have to. Yes, ma'am. As both boys say, they are terrified of their sister. She has never, ever raised her voice above more than a couple octaves. They are terrified to the day when she finally loses her shit and goes off on somebody. That is going to be a terrifying day indeed to them. So, that's when. So, she's already pretty scary as it is to them. They are not fucking with her. They are not going to take her off. They learned the hard way not to irritate her. She doesn't need to scream and yell like Ino and Sakura. And, throw punches. Oh no. She does something a lot worse. She knows how to bring your worst nightmares to reality. So much so that Naruto by this point knows Kurama, and they are good friends, that even Kurama is terrified of her. Go, oh no, 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 you do not get us in trouble, buddy. You do not get, you don't bring that hellhole. So, as they're walking down the corridor of the palace, and they're walking amongst the back streets, it's Crocodiles, which means the uh, Phoenix is not even begun to move around. There's very few people moving around. The only people that meet them at the gate of the outer courtyard of the palace or something before they leave is the Fire Lord and Fire Lady. They have acted as the grandparents. You know what I mean? The grandparents of to the triplets that were overindulged and spoiled their grandkids. So much so that outside the palace gate, Tsunade's kind of smiling to herself. There is a carriage waiting. The triplets would kind of they're excited to go out. They were hoping to go out on their first adventure down the road, open road. And here they are having to face a carriage. Oh, there's my favorite grandbabies. And she hugs them like that poor cat in that poor cat. Tong Tong, I believe, or Tomia, and gives them all kisses and sat there, and it doesn't look like it's a royalty carriage. It was actually the ones that goes in disguise. So you have the best samurai, you have everything that's there, and he goes, "Oh, my sweet grandbabies. Well, I have set up his carriage throughout the route, so you don't have to stop non-stop. We have basically fresh horses and samurai all the way up to Leaf." Really? I thought we were walking there. You think you guys gonna get off that easy, brats? No way. If I let you guys, you'll go on your own little venture before you finally get to Leaf. And I gave you a strict time code, and I want to make sure you get to it. You can torment your senseis after you become a genin about these little side adventures of yours. Just be glad you're leaving the capital. Yes, Grandma. No, give me a kiss, hugs. I'll send you a messenger slug wherever I can. Make sure you give this letter to Sensei. Now get into the carriage. The Fire Lord gives them a hug and sister and says he'll see them soon. He looks forward to hearing about them becoming his new shinobi. Hands them a letter to give to the Hokage. And the Fire Lady gives them all those big bear hugs, squishy hugs one more time. And she says, I'll see you guys more often than not. And they get into the heart. So as this town is very sleepy, they're moving across. They're moving slowly across the capital, or the city. it isn't until they pass the city gates that they felt the carriage take up speed. And it's moving pretty good pace. And they're looking out the windows of the carriage, and they're just excited to see anything outside the palace, parts of the palace that they're used to. Walls. The samurai that are with them, they're familiar with them, they grew up basically around them, are chuckling at the young teens' antics of like looking out the window. Naruto at one point climbed on top of the carriage with his brother, and they're watching the scenery go past. And they get to the first checkpoint. They get out, they eat. It's around lunchtime. They switch carriages. Everything's been switched over. Well, actually, the carriages, it's just horses that got switched. The carriage didn't really get switched. And they get back in, and they're traveling across the road again. At a pretty good pace. Watching the Fire Nation countryside kind of fly by. Them, and they're kind of wondering. So, by this point, it's gone a few hours. It's getting dusk. They see up ahead, another set of horses. They get out, eat dinner, and do what they need to do. And the horses are switched over. This time it's the samurai that have switched over, and they look. And see, it's still familiar samurai, what they're used to. They're just moving along. Then they move along. It's a faster pace. And they basically go like that the same way all night long. This time the boys are not outside the carriage. They're inside the carriage, basically resting against the carriage while sleeping. Again, they stopped a few times, switched horses, and moved. So we're going into a little time skip. It is about noon of the third day. They basically had traveled a good pace, comfortable pace, from Phoenix to Leaf. And they have walked. And when they get to the gates, the children want to get out and walk. But the Lord, the old samurai who's very traditional, saying, no, no, no. It's proper for young princes and princess to stay in the carriage. We'll go through town, and then we'll deliver you to the Hokage. So the samurai the samurai at this point clock in all the people, the group into into Leaf at the gate. They go through town. A lot of people stop and look because it is a good quality carriage, but it is a carriage nonetheless that looks like it's there. Some of the again the older samurai that's very traditional kind of reached over, and as he walks past carriage is going at a steady pace. He reaches in and he closes the one curtain that allows the group to see out, but not many people to see in. And you really can't really see in. And he goes around, he signals for the other side to be done so too. Why? Because in his mind, because it's very traditional, you're not supposed to see the princess. She's supposed to have this air of mystery around her. Yes, the boys are there and they can poke their heads out to her more or not. But she is not supposed to be seen. So that's why she's usually there. As the carriage is walking past at a good steady pace, we see our favorite Nara father and son duo walking down. This happens to be a day off from the academy, so they're walking through the village and they see the carriage. Huh. I wonder why the Fire Lord's undercover carriage is here. What? That's just an ordinary carriage. She goes, son, yes, those look like a ordinary people and stuff, but those are samurai. Samurai don't guard anyone besides if they're royalty. Oh. So, my guess is the Fire Lord has somebody important come in. And they want to come in under certain skies. If that's the case, why didn't they just come in like merchants or something? Royalty, they always don't think. Son, let's go. I'm sure I'll hear about it later. Oh, okay. At this point, Shikamaru was still curious at the carriage as he's walking. As he turns around to see, he happens to see a girl about his age, the white hair like a cloud with beautiful blue eyes that he's ever seen, staring out the window. She has lifted up the curtain enough where she's be able to see. And he caught a glimpse of her. He wants to know who she is. Obviously, by the clothing that she's wearing, she seems to be more of a warrior type. And his mouth Shikamaru's mouth kind of falls open in kind of amazement of her. He's mesmerized by just the slight look of what he can get. Shikaku sees him stop and he looks back and he's kind of does a smirk. He knows his son well enough when he saw, and he sees who he's looking at. And it's almost as you can see the blush go crawling across Shikamaru's face when the certain lovely girl that we all know and love at this point just gently waves at him and she closes the curtain. Now, obviously, she's waving at him and has caught him. Peeking at her. Oh, does the Shikamaru's face go red? And he's trying hard to hide it, but a chuckle from his own man goes. And he whispers to him, gets down to his ear. He goes, so that's the breed of girl you like, huh? Dad! Troublesome. Shikaku couldn't help but laugh. But very impressed that his son is shooting higher on the food chain when it comes to girls. He was kind of more. As much as Shikaku loves his son and will love him no matter what, he just felt like he just dodged a kunai. Him and his mother a few days ago were actually discussing their son's sexuality, considering he has never shown any interest in a female in the village. He actually has shown that he finds them quite annoying and troublesome. That they were actually thinking he was more on. He preferred his own boys over girls. Considering he always hangs out with Choji, he's only hanging out with the guys. He was trying to assure her that, because she was worried that she'll never get grandbabies, and their line will end. He's trying to assure her. He goes, no, no, no. He's just a late bloomer. It's just the type of girls that are here are not what he is interested in. I don't blame him. I wouldn't be interested in either. But she gives him a dirty look because feeling like he just disregarded her. So with the chuckle, he pulls his son aside, and the blush on on Shikamaru's face is so evident, knowing he is like he just has the look of a kid. Still, that this guy's hand caught in a cookie jar, and Shikaku is he's enjoying his son's embarrassment, giving him a little shit about that. Because and you can hear very lightly if Shikaku wasn't paying so close attention to his son and see what else he'll do that's out of character. He goes, I wonder who she is when I see her again. And Shikaku couldn't help but sit there and goes, I'll have to find out for you, boy. And Shikaku was already starting making plans, being the manipulative bastard that he is seeing who she was, and she was going to be staying in Leaf. So he can incidentally start making arrangements and meetings that Shikamaru meets her, gets to know her first. She's the first impression. He's thinking she's a high class lady that hasn't been exposed to many males. Shikamaru will be more female males that she's used to. The more calm and steady ones than the boisterous, rudely typical male shinobi, especially about their age. So he's going to do everything he can to help Shikamaru set the ground pace to get to know her first on more of a deep level before she die, or wherever his name is. She knows the father. Introduce his son. So he's already starting to go through plans of figuring out who she is and everything. So and the guards from the gate already sent word to the Hokage that they have guests coming. At this point, the Hokage does not know that they've been that the triplets have arrived. He told his secretary numerous times if they get word from the gate that triplets, three teenage kids from the capital are coming, to let him know. He wants to know. And to the point he wants to know when they walk through the gate. And he was expecting him any day now. And considering it was starting to go on to a little after 2 in the afternoon on the third day, which they'd be expecting them. And Tsunade has sent a messenger slug saying they are coming by carriage, that they should arrive either on the second or third day, at some point, at least on the third day before sundown. So he's basically demanding the secretary this information when they're showing up. The three elders had told the secretary that he should not be disturbed unless an emergency throughout his work, unless there's a meeting. So he's demanding from her when they come. She's hiding that information to the point they literally go into the courtyard of the Hokage Tower and they pull up like the noblemen. Well, at this point, Higeshi sees the carriage and Inoichi, they're having a conversation about something as they're coming down the steps. The samurai drop their I'm merchants, we're traveling merchants type deal, which they were poor at it anyway. And as Inoichi and Higeshi come down the stairs, they happen to see the carriage. And the doors open and they let the boys out. The boys are stretching. They're looking around like, wow. Looking at the building, they're like, wow, this is what in a low, harsh tone where they did pick up. Naruto asked the samurai, is this leave? Yes. Yes, my lord. Oh, wow. He goes, where are we in leave? He goes, oh, we're at the Hokage Tower, sir. Oh, okay. Inoichi and Higeshi think it's just a client coming in. Probably and by the looks of it, some spoiled rich kid. And they see his brother. Yeah, they're taking, okay, it's more business, they move on. So not one of them saw the older samurai reach his hand and gently help Serenity out. She doesn't need the help, but she follows protocol because samurai are always about certain protocol and traditions. So he helps her, and considering he's quite bright out and stuff, the older samurai is again quite part of the traditional that sunlight is why she's under his care and his men are moving in with some of his clan and stuff. There are certain traditions, even though she's gonna be shinobi, she's gonna be exposed to sunlight as much as she can. Konomichi, there's certain things when, if he can help it, was basically going to stop. Like sometimes sunlight touching her is going to be. He sees this shade's going to be a luxury, so some of the older samurai, some of the other samurai quickly get the um umbrella and cover her. She kind of gives him a look, and he does disregard. He goes, "My lady." Yes. So he takes the lead as the boys follow behind him, and Serenity follows behind the boys, and kind of looking around. They're kind of shocked. They happen to come as they go up the stairs, to the Hokage up the stairs of the Hokage Tower. They are walking a certain favorite Cyclops shinobi, Scarecrow Cyclops shinobi that we see, that we love and know. Make out paradise reading shinobi happens to start walking down the stairs. The older samurai sees what he's reading and freaks the hell out. Because now he just gets up the stairs, goes into the entrance, makes sure the entrance is safe, motion the boys to go through. And Serenity comes up the stairs. He comes out and he kind of nods to the samurai. And the samurai happens to see what he's reading. He goes, oh, my lady, avert your eyes. Oh my god. How can you wear such filth? He goes, my lords, avert your eyes. And he quickly has Serenity turn around and has her eyes. She goes, well, what's going on? I demand. You can hear her voice going, having a authoritative tone in her voice. You can tell she's demanding, and his wife happens to be a female samurai. Comes up and she sees his Kakashi reading such filth, and she pulls out her fan and she smacks his hand. She goes, "How dare you read such filth in the presence of children much of higher birth than you? How dare you? Don't you know there are ladies around here?" Kakashi is dumbfounded. He's been scolded by his fellow shinobi numerous times when we're reading the Make Out Paradise. He has never been told anything. It's like he doesn't really worry in front of clients. He quickly puts it away, thinking maybe these are clients. He doesn't need to infect them and having to go somewhere else. And he goes, "I'm sorry, excuse me." And then he poofs away and does a shine. He gets out of there. Basically, he gets out of Dodge, freaking the hell out a little because these samurai were pretty much ready to run him through, and all because he was reading his favorite book. And hearing some of the commotion, Ibiki comes around the corner with Anko, and they're kind of chuckling to themselves because they see Kakashi basically getting beaten down by somebody who's a little older than, probably a good a decade older than their Hokage. Just beating them down with nothing more than a good sized fan, just whacking him and scolding him like he's a child. And they see the older samurai. It's like a few of them look like they're getting ready to run Kakashi through because of the book. And they chuckle, and Anko quickly realizes what she's wearing, so she quickly buttons up her jacket. So she doesn't want to get the same treatment, so she quickly buttons up her jacket and goes up. I hope that this does not indicate the manners of such place. I can't believe he goes. She goes, my princess, my lady. We will make sure that never happens again. I assure you that such filth will never cross your eyes again. I think it's fine. We don't need to scold everyone for their vices. Do we? We're new in town. We don't need to be making enemies. Yeah, but such filth. I understand. We don't need to be making such enemies. As Serenity goes. She moused her brother. Uncle Uncle Jiraiya's book. The the Gatsby tale? No. His famous one. Oh! Well, he is the perfect sage, so what do you expect? The other samurai kind of chuckled because the kids knew their godfather's writing. So, Michael, we really don't need to be terrifying him. No. He is a customer to my grand uncle. Let's find out who he is and apologize who he is. And send a gift. Why don't you go pick out a, get him... Why don't you ask my uncle to get him a book? She goes, of course, my lady. Serenity doesn't say, go get him another make-out or get him a signed copy of Make-Out Paradise. She's trying to keep some dignity, but trying to smooth over any type of deal. He goes, my lady, I think we will send an apology gift, but I think sending in any form of bill. Well, how about we send him if he's a fan of Master Jiraiya, then and so why don't we just send him the Gatsby Tale, a copy of the Gatsby Tale? Direct him to a better book. As she smooths over talking to the samurai, which shows that she was well versed in handling politics. Of course, that makes sense. Okay, I can see. Okay, that book. So they're gonna ask if Vicky is still chuckling at the fact that Kakashi just got his ass basically jumped by a couple of samurai. He's gonna laugh his ass off. He's so telling Shidaku about this later. That's he. As soon as he gets out of the office, he's gonna go find Shidaku and tell him. So they're walking down to corridor. They see a Bicky, and the older samurai goes, "Sir, is the Hokage's office down this way?" He goes, "Yes, I believe you're potential clients." He goes, "No, He goes, "I'm not sure how much." "Oh, I will take you there." Ibiki, being head intelligence, is kind of curious. Pretty sure that he already the secretary sees the group and she goes, "If you," and when she goes, "How may I help you?" And Ibiki goes, "They're here to see the Hokage." "Do they have an appointment?" The older samurai, he goes, "The lordship should be expecting these three, the princess and the princess." "Oh, so they have an appointment." He goes, "Standing one, we weren't sure when we were gonna get in." "But yes, there is an appointment." "Well, what is your name?" And as the older samurai is getting still pretty much irritated about the whole thing, Ibiki goes, "Just go get the lord. Announce the lord to the lord that he has guests." No, we can't do that. They have to have an appointment." "Excuse me, miss. What is your name?" "Maya." "Maya. Oh, I am Princess Senju. Your lordship is expecting two princes and Princess Senju, grandchildren to Lady Senju. Lady Tsunade Senju. He is expecting us. Now go inform him, or I'll have your job. I've been sitting in a carriage for awfully too long, and I don't really want to travel back to the..." "Due all your respect, there's only one Senju, and that's Tsunade." "Yes, I'm quite aware that you are quite familiar with my grandmother. But if I have to get out and travel back to Phoenix after we just traveled 3 days, I am hustling it, and I'm gonna advocate that we pull lease funding." Do I make myself clear? You don't have the power. Being royal blood tends to give you a lot of power. You don't need to flex the power if you have it. Now go inform his lordship, or else we're walking out and we're gonna be pulling. I'll be advocating to pull the funding until we get a formal apology from Leaf. Do I make myself clear? And considering I'm acting as 3 clan heads at once right now, that means you just insulted 3 clans at once. The Senjus, the Uzumakis, and the Malakazis. Now go inform your lordship. Now. I don't have to do a damn thing. You see this hourglass? I really quite like it. The Rakage gave this to us when he was visiting with his lord from Cloud. Land of Lightning, you know that. It's quite beautiful. Quite there. The end of this, if the last grain of sand falls to the bottom, we're picking up and we're going. If Vicky is sensing the authority behind this young girl's voice and he's doubting to really push it, but he's kind of curious to see what's going to happen. He knows that the elders have been put to doing stuff and there's really not much they can do. Because a few of the clans are kind of worried going against the elders when they went over to the civilian clans council. So, but if she says, he's thinking, if she says what she holds is true, that means the Shinobi Council just got more manpower, and we might be able to convince. He's thinking we might be able to convince her to dissolve the civilian council. Huh. Because if this is what's the case, the only person he can think of that can talk to her, both, 2 of them. But he goes, he's not really worried about Hinegashi. He doesn't want to do that. He's thinking about setting her up, talking with Shidaku. Shidaku has more of the plan ahead than Hinegashi. So he's already making plans to having Shidaku talk to her. Justin, our favorite chain smoking former guardian of the 12, and his lovely girlfriend. It's not gonna be Kunai. It's gonna be Kana. Come walking down. Children, how good to see you guys. I was wondering when you guys gonna get. I've heard that there was a little bit of commotion at the gate. I assume that was you guys. Were you causing pranks already, you boys? No. But we got to see a guy with white hair with a mask and his Hittite covering his eye. Did he lose an eye? That's the only thing we could think of. Reading one of Uncle Jiraiya's books, getting his beat down from Granny here. Granny Kai. It was such filth to read in front of potential children and clients. Oh my god, no. I said we'd let it go. Granny. I know. I just can't because it's totally inappropriate for anyone to be having such public. But he reads in the privacy of his own room or his own home, that's fine. If his wife wants to deal with him, that's fine. Well, maybe he doesn't have a wife. He goes, oh. Maybe what he needs to do is be, we'll figure out something. Don't worry, we'll figure out something. We'll fix it. And she nodded her head. Oh, Guardian Saitobi, it's good to see you. Hey, Granny. Hey, kids. Asama. Hey, brats. Good to see you. How was the journey? Long. We had to be by stay. We had to stay in the carriage. Well, Sis had to stay in the carriage. We got to be on top. The only time we were Sis was out was loud out was when we stopped for breaks. A lady must not be seen. She's a princess. She can't be seen. I'm also gonna be a Koichi of Leaf. You're not there yet. Until you get it, you get into your entry level, you're gonna still be treated like a princess. And even then, you're still gonna be treated like a princess. So, so what's the commotion out here? I thought you'd be in the office with my old man. I would love to, but Mari here says we can't because we don't have an appointment. Dad's expecting you. He's been basically almost tearing his hair out, having everyone on alert that let you know when you guys got in. Oh, so we do have an appointment. She turns to. Is there a reason why you're going against what the lordship has asked? Uh, and now I'm starting to wonder that too. My dad, I know for a fact, has been worried about these kids. I was kind of worried about them. I came up here because we haven't heard anything about them coming through the gates. I was gonna go out and see if I can hunt them down. Hmm. Yeah, I was thinking that too. You act like we can't protect. We were never saying that. We weren't sure if you guys gotta let them go by carriage or you guys could use the carriage as a distraction and let them go by themselves. Like your grandmother would ever let them do that. And his lordship. I know. I'm not doing anything against you. I'm not saying anything. I know. Yeah, and the lordship is making sure they're gonna be taken care of. Seriously, they act like we can't go to the bathroom by ourselves. Come on. Ow. Naruto gets hit in the head with the fan. Watch your language, young man. You might be a prince, but you're still a nobleman. You will behave like one. Yes, ma'am. Not willing to cause more trouble because the sister is giving Mari the stink eye. She does not want the reputation to be tarnished or anything because she has sarcastic nature. She has a sarcastic nature too, but they're trying to create a good impression. Then they let Leaf have it. Come on, guys. I know my old man's gonna waiting for you guys. I will announce him. Apparently, you can't do your job. I will do it for you. Oh God, that means I'm gonna be the paper pusher. Probably, love. I don't want to be a paper pusher. You should have never became a. Shut up. My older brother's been trying to get me to be his secretary. If he's just gonna be happy I become a paper pusher. That's what he wants me to do. I swear to God. Call me. Yeah, come in. Have you heard? Asuma. I brought you 3 brats. I think we're looking for them. Should we toss them back? I think they're a little scrawny. Come in, guys. Come in. Come in. Wow. You guys must be the Uzumaki triplets. Senju, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Senju, I am so sorry. It's quite alright. It's been known to happen. I understand. Oh, Grandma, Grand asked us to give you this. Let me see. Uh, okay, she's saying Serenity Senju is the acting head of the Senju clan, Namikaze, and Uzumaki's until she gets back. That would appear so. I got outvoted, and they did not at first. Okay. Ah. Oh, the fire. Here's the farming fire. Oh. Yeah, it looks like he's sending some samurai. He already sent some ahead, but it looks like in the next day he's going to send a little bit more. Mainly to help guard the compound and help take care of you three. Yes, I'm sorry. No, it's quite alright. It's quite alright. We were kind of. Your grandmother kind of hinted that in this. I think she just wanted to give me soften the blow. I'm sure we will work well with the shinobi of this village. We're just here to guard them, make sure they're safe. We understand that we can't protect them if they go out of the village, but if they're in the village, they are being to be taken care of. Oh, I understand. Okay. Well, we should escort you guys to the compound. I'm not 100% sure how you gotta get in. Your grandmother. Don't worry. We have that taken care of. Oh, okay. Here is a map. Sir, I'll just have IT have to vet all your, understood. Lady Tsunade already gave us the heads up that this could be it. She handpicked every single one of us. She thinks that even Vicky will be happy. Okay, okay. So, the Senjus have come back. Lady Tsunade has grandkids. Yes, Becky. Wow. What? Oh my god. This is even more hilarious. Can you tell me what's just so funny? Kakashi got beat down by this man. Oh, she did. Yes, it's quite hilarious. I look forward to hearing it about. Oh, it is quite hilarious. Okay, well, let's go get these kids to the compound. I'm sure they want to rest after the long journey. hmm You be we'll be starting the academy. They're on 2-day break, but you'll be starting the academy on Monday morning. Oh, okay. Um, as they walk down, the samurai went to go help the um. Yo, sir, would you rather take the carriage to it? Oh, I think we can walk. Yeah, of course. The carriage can come along with us. Not a big deal. Of course, of course. The older samurai, still being the very traditional, goes, Cover the princess. I swear. Oh, that's where it goes. Traditional? Yes, sir. Well, I'm sure everyone will be fine. As they get her umbrella comes back as they walk down the stairs in the courtyard and they're walking out. The samurai indicate to the driver that they're moving. And they start walking down the street. And the third is going along explaining the different sites and stuff, and Asuma is just showing up, doing stuff, and he's too busy teasing his favorite little brat, one of his favorite little brats. He knows she hates that when the samurai and the servants do this to her. She hates it. She doesn't, unless it's doing training. She always had to be covered. So as she's walking down the street, and she has the covering, she goes, "I hate this." And he goes, well, "You're a goddess. You're a goddess walking. You cannot be seen by mortal men." Shut up, Guardian Saratobi. He goes, "You gotta give me that, and you gotta give me this." And they're walking. The third is pointing out different things. Serenity is paying attention more because she is the acting head. So she's asking questions. She goes, "Well, what is the political climate of this village?" He goes, "Right now." He goes, yeah, he goes, "Right now the civilians have majority control." She stops and she goes, "Civilians have majority of control, but this is a military state. This is a military village. It was founded on being military. How?" I'm sure you'll come to an understanding. He goes, "Yeah, I'm kind of frustrated too, but I have to be in the middle and show an unbiased deal." Well, we're just gonna have to fix that. I knew I was walking into a mess, but I didn't think it was this bad. It seems like it's bad. Oh, it's not that bad, I promise you. She's eyeing the aging Hokage off. She doesn't show it on her face, but she is thinking, yeah, this is bad. This is real bad. As they're walking down um uh the street, you see some of the villagers stop and bow towards the Hokage. As Inuichi, not Inuichi, but Ibiki went to Shidaku right away, and he told him who was in. He just went ahead and spilt. And considering the Nara clan is right next to, not even 3 or 4 miles away from the Senju compound, clan compound, which means they're the closest neighbors. It's not unheard of for their deer to go across to the lands of the Senju's forest. So he quickly goes and tells his wife, get dressed, wear some form, get cleaned up, go to the bathhouses, go to get cleaned up, come back, put some formal gear on. Then he looks at his son. Shikamaru, come on, we gotta go get cleaned up. What? And then we're coming back and putting on some formal gear. And we gotta go pick up some things. What? His mom goes, as they're walking to the nice bathhouse in town to get cleaned up, and she goes, what's this? He goes, we are going to be the first. He goes, Ibiki, try to keep the information down. Do not let it get to anyone. Of course. So, he's planning on trying to impress. And the third Hokage takes him to the compound, shows him, he goes, I'm not 100% sure how you guys are going to get in. Until your we'll figure out something worse comes to worse. But the clan, without a second thought, minute, the Naruto goes up, he performs a hand sign, shoves his chakra into it, as there, he goes, and just as the third is trying to explain to Serenity, not 100% sure how they could do it, the gates open up and there's like the compound light comes to life. And next thing you know, he walks in. He hasn't walked in the compound in over 13 years. If that. He hasn't been there since his senseis were around. And he barely been there when Tsunade was there. So, yeah, he's looking around in amazement. And you hear the samurai off in the distance directing the group, the small group, and to get there. To start unloading the carriage, start taking care of stuff, and everything. And the third is looking around. He's kind of amazed that they unlocked everything. He goes, okay, never mind, basically was his thought. So he lets them know he'll see them later, give them time to rest. He gives them the indication, she bows, she walks him to the gate and shuts the door. Realizing they're gonna have to, once the samurai are fully vetted, they're going to have, and everyone was fully vetted by Ibiki, which Third says they will go ahead and start the process tomorrow, bright and early. With Inuichi, then yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna leave it at that. Goodbye. Again, leave me a like and a follow. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. If I got something wrong or something doesn't make any sense, leave it in the comments. And bye-bye.